Dude, it's so good.
I love this peanut sauce.
Prijs-kwaliteitsverhouding.
This is my stuff.
That's very flavorful.
Not bad.
Our very first time in the Netherlands, we noticed a large amount of Indonesian restaurants, especially compared to where we live in Germany. There is a history of Dutch colonization that brought Indonesian flavors and culture to the Netherlands. Today, you can find many restaurants with traditional Indonesian dishes as well as dishes with a Dutch-Indonesian twist. In this video, we visit The Hague for the first time to try Indonesian food in the Netherlands.
All right, so we made it into the heart of The Hague, Den Haag, The Hague. I don't know how to pronounce the city, but here we are. First stop is this restaurant right behind me. It's called Bumbu Jawa. I don't know what that means, but it's an Indonesian restaurant. It says Taste of Indonesia. And we got two dishes to start out with. This is a broodje rendang. And I think broodje just means bread roll. As you can see, it's a bread roll. And rendang, I think, is an Indonesian dish. This is beef, and I think it's cooked in somewhat of a coconut sauce. So
Coconut.
this is kind of like a nice bread roll. It's very soft, but crunchy on the outside, and then on the inside we have, I would assume this is the rendang sauce, beef in the center, and then this garnished with some cucumbers and then onions, red peppers. It reminds me a little bit of Vietnam, like the banh mis they have there, but I'm just gonna start here with the broodje rendang for, let's call it brunch. That's very flavorful. It's spicy as well. The beef in here, it tastes like a slow cooked beef. It's super soft, super tender. It like falls apart when you put it in your mouth. The flavor of the sauce, the gravy it's in, the rendang is so good. It's so strong. There's a slight hint of coconut, but also spice. And then the crunch of the cucumber gives it a little bit of a contrast. This is, I think, €7.50.
Yes.
I don't know. You could say this is a good prijs-kwaliteitsverhouding. I tried to learn that word you told me in the last Netherlands video, price-performance ratio. I'm happy with this. If this day continues like that, Indonesian food so far, so good.
It has this authenticity and flavor that I feel like is very hard to find in Western Europe.
Right?
It's so good. Normally I would have this over rice, but in a bread roll, it's a nice hand snack to go.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a little bit like fusion between Indonesia and the Netherlands. So the broodje from the Netherlands and then the rendang from Indonesia, very nice.
Yeah. So what I'm starting off with is a sendal, which is a coconut milk drink with a lot of sugar under here. So you have the sugar and it has these rice jellies. And it's so good. It's a very popular snack throughout Southeast Asia, very common in Indonesia as well.
And it seems to be very hard to mix.
And I love it, yeah. So I'm just mixing it. It's just this cold coconut milk, a lot of like ices and slushies, and it should have like some jelly things inside. Just want to make sure it's fully mixed up, and then I give it a try. Dude, this is my stuff. It's literally candy, liquid candy that you can eat. It has these nice like rice glutinous jellies. They're the green ones in here.
Oh yeah.
And they're nicely sliced up. Can fit through this paper straw, barely. It's coming in though. There's one. It's so good.
I think Southeast Asia is known for sweet food, sweet drinks, right? That's a dessert. It tastes literally like a pudding.
It is a dessert. It's so good. So this was €5. It's about the same price you would pay for like a Starbucks coffee or something, some fancy coffee drink.
Or boba.
Or boba, yeah. It's comparable to a boba.
That was a delicious start to this Indonesian food tour. We continue into the city center where we come across a familiar sight and a wall of heated snack vending machines. We tried a few of these Dutch-style fried snacks in our previous videos, and some of you highly recommended a few with a Dutch-Indonesian twist.
Our next stop brings us to another iconic spot in the Netherlands. It's one of these vending machine places. It's called Smuller's, and they have a whole bunch of the standard kip and bitterballen and croquette that you can get in frikadel. We're not doing that this time. This spot is located in the train station, and it's very busy. They have a lot of turnover. They're constantly putting new items out there, and you can see them in the back just adding new little items into each of the slots. Today we got two different things, and I'm gonna do this one. We have a banh mi shift. Banh mi is a fried noodle base. It was brought over to Indonesia by Chinese immigrants, and it's a very popular dish. You'll get there, you get banh mi goreng. It's a very common dish in Indonesia, but this is a Dutch twist to it. I've never seen this. It looks interesting. So it's gonna be noodles in here with this fried battered outside.
Let's see if you're right.
Should be, is what I'm guessing. Oh, and there we go. Looks like some nice curry flavor in there. And you have the noodles. All right.
Okay, a little different than what I expected.
Just gonna give it a try. Wow. It tastes like the very standard noodles that you have from like an instant ramen pack or something. A little overcooked, probably because it's been cooked and then cooked again and it's been battered and deep fried. It's honestly not bad. This is one of those late night cravings. If I've had a few drinks, I would definitely get.
Is it dry or not?
No, it's very moist, especially compared to some of the other fried foods. I feel like it has a little bit more of a, not necessarily a kick, but just more of like a seasoned flavor to it.
Oh.
Not bad. It's a little more expensive. So this was €2.80, which I think is a little more expensive than if you go to some of the other ones, but I would say not a bad price.
So the second thing we got at Smoller's is this nice looking brown piece of goodness. It's so deep fried again, and it's called a satay croquette. And what we expect is something with peanut in there. So let's break it open.
See it on the outside.
All right, let's see. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
It might just be fried peanut sauce. I mean, it looks like it. Oh, it is peanut butter, yeah. There's meat chunks in there. It's very nice. It's a little bit like glue in your mouth. It's very thick, the sauce. Ooh, it has a little bit of spice too. It's a peanut sauce, it's deep fried, it's very crispy on the outside, very warm and moist on the inside. There are chunks of meat in there, and overall, it tastes very nice. This is, again, probably like a fusion thing between Indonesian food, where all the peanut-based stuff comes from, and then the Dutch food, the deep fried, and put it on a wall to grab it out of the machine thing. I like it.
This is my stuff.
That's good, right?
This is so good to me. It's like not as sweet as peanut butter, definitely a little more of a savory peanut flavor, a little bit of a spice, not too bad, and then the fried goodness, so good.
We continue to walk around the city to make room in our bellies for more food to come.
See, even El Mama Barbecue is offering satays. Just popular in the Netherlands.
If you've seen our Patreon videos on patreon.com/DeAnnaandPhil, you know that we love roaming around a city and getting a feel for the commercial and residential areas.
So we're in Den Haag. I still think there's tons of biking. There are a lot of bikes, especially compared to Germany and definitely compared to the USA. So far, I really like it. I'm feeling like we're getting close to the coast, but I think we have a decent amount of ways to walk.
I think so far they're making good use of like the squares. However, haven't seen that much green in the city yet. Dude, again, one of these small cars. We saw them in Amsterdam and I love these. I feel like more cities should have these tiny cars. They make so much sense in the city if you just use your car as transportation.
As our jealousy of the bike and scooter culture continues to increase, we make our way to the next spot in this food tour that is in a quaint street with more beautiful brick buildings.
So for lunch we came to this Indonesian restaurant. It's called Kopi Kopi and it's right in the heart of The Hague. I still don't know how to pronounce this city. We got two dishes we're gonna try. I got a lunch special. This is called nasi putih. Nasi, I think, is the rice, and this comes with these prawn chips. Then we got to choose one vegetable on the side, and I chose spicy fried eggplants. And then we have the main dish here. You could choose between beef and chicken meat. This is chicken. I also got a Indonesian iced tea on the side. I forgot the name already. Maybe we can put it up on the screen. We'll just try that first. It's so sweet. It's kind of exactly what you expect an Indonesian iced tea would taste like. Because if you've been to Southeast Asia, it's all the drinks there are so sweet.
They're
it's
so
like
sweet.
Very similar to like a Thai iced tea, but without the milk, I assume. We got some roasted onions on the rice. Got a little bit of that. A little bit of chicken. A little bit of eggplant. And some spice here. See how spicy it is? I have no idea.
That is a beautiful spoonful.
I have no idea if this is super spicy or not. No. Let's see, Indonesian food in the Netherlands. Dude, it's so good. You know how every Chinese restaurant in Germany, in the Netherlands, is kind of like Europeanized or Westernized food?
Yeah.
This does not taste like that. It tastes like something that could actually be served in Southeast Asia. So I'm very happy. The chicken is super tender. The flavor is so strong. It's nicely seasoned. And the eggplant, as usual, very oily. It just all overall comes very nicely together. It has a good amount of flavor and spice to it, which I really like. I miss this, man. We have to go back to Indonesia.
I love those. I had these growing up a lot.
I wonder if you're supposed to like scoop with them or if they're just, are they like
Do whatever you
just the
please.
crunchy side?
Do whatever you please. Before I dig into my dish, I'm gonna steal one of these prawn chips. So they're from Southeast Asia, but a lot of East Asian cuisine adopted it, and they're so good. I love them. As a kid, we used to make these in a deep fry. You just kind of put the dried ones in, they puff up. I love it.
Back to your childhood.
So we have gadu-gadu. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The only Indonesian I remember from our trip to Indonesia is terima kasih, which is like thank you, and zuksma. That's the Bali way of saying it. Anyways, so we have the salad here, which is pretty traditional. It has peanut sauce, as you can see, covering different veggies here. We have the bean sprouts, we have the tempeh, there's a boiled egg inside, there's green beans, there's lettuce, there's kale, and it just looks really good. So here's a part of the boiled egg.
To be honest, it doesn't look like a salad on first glance.
Depends on what you call a salad. A very big spoonful.
Peanut heavy.
I love this peanut sauce. It is so good. It's warm, so I think that's unexpected. And it's this warm, delicious, savory sauce just covering all of these vegetables right here. I didn't notice, but you have cucumber, which add this nice freshness to it. You have green beans. I love, love, love bean sprouts, so that's so good to see. It just goes really nicely together, and I freaking love this. Oh, I love it. So living in Germany, we often have just like Chinese food, a lot of Vietnamese food, and living in Düsseldorf, we have Little Tokyo, obviously, so a lot of Japanese cuisine. I feel like I have not seen an Indonesian restaurant. It's really cool, just go over the border, you see it. I mean, you've got a lot of history involved in there too, but it's a very different spice palette, which I really love.
Exactly.
These peanuts, these spicy flavors, it's, oh.
I think she's right. I also think this has a pretty spicy aftertaste, so I like the amount of spice. The flavor palette is very different, and the amount of this peanut sauce, man.
So good.
So while I was mixing this up and I look at this red stuff, it reminded me of what my dad always ate, sambal oleg. So we quickly looked it up, and sambal oleg is native to Indonesia. So I would assume that the red paste they put on here to make it spicier was indeed sambal oleg.
After that very satisfying meal, we decide to make our way a little further out of the city center.
So we're walking a little bit towards our last stop before we end up going to the beach and finally seeing some water. We're walking a little more in the residential areas. It definitely feels less retail, less commercial, but more residential here. And it's very brown, like Phil said, a lot of this red brick, which I personally like, but it definitely gives a different vibe than the center, the walking area.
To me, that will always be UK. Or to you, maybe
Northeast?
Northeast, like Boston.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of brick there.
We also found some green walking through a park and made our way to the next Indonesian restaurant. There was a lot of delicious looking savory food, but we were here for the desserts.
Okay, so we're a little outside of the city center. We walked a little bit and we went to a place called Toko Sendana. And it's an Indonesian restaurant and they had a lot of dessert varieties.
We got 3 items.
But we wanted to start off with this drink. I saw mangosteen on there and I had to get it. It's this fruit that's very common in Southeast Asia and I freaking love it.
Diana always says, I don't want to drink sweet drinks, but every time we're at an Asian place and you see it in the fridge there,
I
you
know.
want it.
Every time I go to an Asian supermarket, I really want one.
Mangosteen drink.
Oh, it's so good. It's this sweet, but not too sweet. It's like a kind of peach flavor-ish vibe to me.
You introduced this one because I already forgot the name.
So this is called spekkoek.
Spekkoek.
You know, like the coke, like the cake at the end
Is
of
that
the Dutch.
Indonesian?
It means layered cake. So this was created during the Dutch colonization time in Indonesia, and it's this layered cake. That's why you have all of these beautiful layers in here, and they have variation of it. There they had a banana, they have a pandan, and a chocolate one, but we went with the original one, which I'm just gonna eat with my hands here.
Is it good? What does it taste like?
Oh, it has a little bit of the cinnamon flavor to it, a little bit of the spice nutmeg flavor, and it's very squishy.
This is an easy to eat cake. It's not very spilling or anything.
I feel like Phil is gonna say it tastes like Christmas.
Tastes like Christmas. You're right. What is it? Nutmeg? A little bit like the speculatius thing.
A little bit. Yeah, definitely. It's like the speculatius. It has very similar flavors to that.
I kind of wanted to get the pandan, and I think the pandan would have been slightly better. But if you like this type of flavor, then this one is good because I really like the texture.
Yeah, the texture is so nice. It's a steamy texture. It's very light. It's very fluffy. This is a type of like dessert that I would definitely eat for like coffee and koehen side. Do they have that in the Netherlands?
Oh, 100%.
Coffee and cake time, British tea time. I love it.
Then we get this, a 6-pack of klepon, which is what?
Rice cake balls filled with palm sugar and then coconut shreds on the outside.
Okay, so palm sugar, we just grabbed one each. We're not sure if these are frozen or ready to eat, but they look like this. Definitely coconut coated on the outside.
Yeah.
Let's just see. Yeah, definitely frozen. We were a little confused. The people there working were definitely of Indonesian heritage, and he knew everything we were asking for.
I had a little list there.
Yeah, but he asked us if we wanted to eat there or takeaway. And we said takeaway, and they kind of went in the back to get some things. I wonder if they gotten the frozen things because people go there and get that as takeaway for home for later, you know, not to eat right away. So, and the same thing will probably apply to this thing. It's also, I think, frozen. We might have to just cut to later here and show you the proper thing.
We repack the desserts and scooty our way towards the coastline. We are finally going to see the beach.
All right.
We walked all the way to the edge.
It's right
the
there.
water.
It should be right there. So.
I already spot a giant seagull. They're everywhere.
Americans' first time reacting to a Northern European coastline. Oh my God, there's so many people on the beach. Holy shit, I can't believe it. Gonna get close in a second.
Wow, we made it to Myrtle Beach.
Americans' first time.
What's Myrtle Beach?
What do you think?
It's nice. It's a nice beach.
Is this what you pictured the cold Northern European, German and Dutch beaches to look like?
No, but it's cool that they have a lot of little restaurants and shops there if you want some ice cream, if you want some food. And then you can lay out by the beach. I see people paddleboarding. It's September and people are in the water and there's a giant pier.
But yeah, this is kind of like the last week of summer that we're supposed to get here in early September, and then
fall or winter is here. Time for hibernation after that.
We waited for like half an hour and I think our stuff is finally defrosted. So these are, again, klepon. So look at it again.
Beautiful.
It's also, the sun is pretty low, a little bit of golden hour here. Let's see.
The inside really melts. It's like falling apart.
I don't know if this is visible. The palm sugar in the center, definitely it's sweet. The rice cake thing is a little tough to bite through, but then the coconut flakes do its flavor on top.
And so we have this. It's a Q Mangkok, and it's just a steamed pastry thing. In Southeast Asia and like throughout Asia especially, there wasn't a lot of ovens historically, so a lot of like the dessert and the bread things were always steamed. It's a very common thing. It's a little more energy efficient nowadays. It's completely different. Like you have ovens, you have stoves and stuff. So it's just a steamed cake.
Of green.
It's like a little cupcake. I just pulled it out there.
That's neon green, man.
It has a little bit of this coconut flavor in there. I feel like it would be the best fresh if you have it like freshly steamed right out of the cupcake.
Very dry. I feel like some condensed milk on top of it will help that. So that was our full day of eating Indonesian food here in the Netherlands. We're gonna end it here at this pretty epic beach in The Hague.
I'm so full. There's so many more restaurants and so many more dishes to try, but for now, that was super satisfying. We are going to continue our Dutch food tour up north. We're kind of doing this a little out of order, so we'll see you in the next one. A few more dishes we need to try out.
Yeah, and if you want to see more of this pier, we might do a little Patreon video, but for now,
thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
bye-bye.
Let's go bungee jumping. There was a sign back there saying take a shot before you bungee jump. It'll help. I wonder if they push.